Hello, my name is David Jeunesse, and thank you for tuning in and watching my video. I really very much appreciate it, and I want to say that in a way, this is my very first video, and it certainly will be the first one I posted to YouTube. That's not 100% true because I've been filmed before and other people posted something I was doing on YouTube, but I've never did it myself. And if you follow me on Facebook, well, I've done a number of live videos and still life, recorded videos and all sorts of photos, on Facebook. But this is the first time, in my mind, it really is my first video because it's the beginning of a promise to myself that I am going to start doing regular videos and posting them on YouTube. And so this is the beginning of that discipline. As I said, my name is David Jeunesse, and if you see my name spelled, it looks like Jenny's. It's spelled Jennys, and it is pronounced Jeunesse. Do not ask me why it's pronounced that way, because I really do not know. I only know that that's what my father told me, and he used to say that that's what his father told him. So, what can you say? I'm not the only person who has a name that is often mispronounced. And I was told one time that my name Jeunesse rhymes with finesse. And so there you go. I have this this idea to live into. Hopefully you'll find some finesse in my videos. Well, I want to talk to you about a little bit about myself and my perspective in life. You see, I am someone who's moved around a lot. And I won't get into why, but I've changed jobs, and my parents moved before I finished high school. I was in the military and just moved a lot for a lot of different reasons. And the whole idea when people talk about their rootedness, their hometown or all of their family around nearby, I don't understand any of that. So I've been on the move a lot, and it's come to me that life is a lot like a journey. Because I've journeyed a lot and I love to travel. I've traveled overseas, so I've traveled by jet plane, I've traveled by train, Amtrak trips, a lot of fun. And I like to drive. I've traveled a long distance cross country with the car, and I like to hike, and I like to run. I've run marathons, I've run a couple ultra marathons, and my wife and I right now like to do backcountry hiking. So we like to go particularly to the Yellowstone National Park, and we hike there in the backcountry. And there's nothing more amazing than a path that goes around the curve or goes up over the hill. And that horizon, if you've ever been out on the highway, that white line fever, you can see it disappearing into the distance, and there's something so captivating and enthralling. It draws you in about the whole idea of traveling to a destination. Where does this road go? Where, if I hike long enough, where will I find this trail? And so that, to me, that's a lot of fun. And it kind of resonates a lot with my life of having moved around a lot. It seems like my lineage has moved around a lot over the generations. My last name actually derives from the people who in medieval European history as the Normans. Now, if you know your medieval history, the Normans were Vikings who settled in northern France, thus the name Norman, Normandy. And the Normans, under their leader, William the Conqueror, took over England. They beat the British, the Britons, in the Battle of Hastings in 1066, and forever transformed England from a Germanic country to a more Latin country. And where did the Normans come from before they settled in Normandy? Well, they were Vikings. And the Normans came from various places in Denmark and Norway and Iceland, I guess. And they settled in Normandy. Then they invaded England. and they also went all sorts of other places. And so I'm descended from one of those people that came with William the Conqueror and then took over England. And at some point in my family's life, somebody came to America, to the British colonies, the 13 colonies on the Atlantic coast. And I don't know a whole lot about them, but two of my ancestors lived in New England. They were artists, and so my family dates back before the American Revolution, and and my particular family has moved farther west, and so I now live in eastern South Dakota after having lived in other places. So on the move. So you get the idea that the whole idea of traveling and moving and the journey is a big idea for me. And life is so much like a journey, I think. If you've ever been on a trip where you've traveled a little bit or a lot, you know, there are certain things that you need in to have a successful journey. You need to have an idea of where you're going. You need to know what your destination is. Otherwise, obviously, you'll never get there because you have no goal. And you also, it's important to have a good roadmap or a GPS system so you can stay on the journey. And it's also helpful to not travel alone, to have traveling companions. It makes the travel so much better that way. In fact, I should say that one of the best experiences that my wife and I have had together is in the car traveling a long distance. And so you're in the car, what else can you do? You know, well, we talk a lot, we share life, and we discuss things, and we kick around ideas, and wow, you know, this always a good experience. So it's nice to have traveling companions in the journey, whether it be an actual journey or in life. And then also, it's important to pay attention to the mile markers. If you're going down the highway in the United States, they use mile markers rather than kilometers. And every mile, there's another marker that tells you how far you've gone. And every so often, there's a mileage sign that tells you how far it is to the next city or the next exit. And when I'm traveling, I like to watch those mileage signs. It's a game that I play to keep myself alert. I don't like math, you see, so I do this math puzzle. I try to calculate how much time it will take to get from where we are now based on the mileage and the rate of speed and so on to get to somewhere else. And it helps keep me focused on driving and stay awake. And so it's good to have a lot of these things like the idea of the destination, and to have a good roadmap, and to have good traveling companions and mile markers and things like that. And just like in life, you know, over the years, I've had lots of experiences, good and bad. I've learned some lessons where after I've made some mistakes and been celebrate in the good decisions I've made. And I'm very happy with certain things have happened, and not so much with others, you know. And sometimes there have been situations where I was very glad that I had people traveling with me, you know, good people who were good companions. Sometimes, well, you know, people that weren't so good at traveling with, but I learned things from them, so it's a good thing. And I skipped over the idea of a map. In life, you need to have an idea where you're going, have goals, and to have a sense of direction where you want to go in life, rather than just kind of bumping around day to day. That's not any good. And also in life, it's good to pay attention to the metaphorical mile markers. Like, how are you doing? Are you tracking where you're going, and are you getting to the place you want in life? What are you doing in clicking off those goals? And so life is so much like a journey, and I love that metaphor. But another thing I want to talk about is in business. That just like life is like a journey, an actual physical journey, building a business is also like a journey. There's, you might say, an entrepreneurial journey. And just like in a journey, you're going to need to have a certain an idea of your destination. You need to know what your goals are and your dreams. People talk about your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you trying to build this business? Is it the people, your family, or is it a sense that you want to retire, or that you want to build a business for the sake of helping other people? What is it you're doing? What is your why? Why are you doing this? Because if you don't have this purpose, this focus, well, then your business will be aimless and you won't know what you're doing and why. And it will be something that won't give you passion and excitement. So you got to have your dream, you got to have your goals, and you got to work toward them. Another thing is that the whole idea of having a good map, in life or a journey, and in business, it's important to have certain tools that help you do what you want to do, that help you in meeting your goals. Things like marketing tools, whether they be strategies or whether they're actual tech kind of things. A lot of oftentimes now people are marketing these tools that are useful for tracking and saving your passwords or connecting with people and generating more leads. All of these things are great tools if you know how to use them. But more than that, it's important to have certain strategies, certain ideas about what you're doing. Most important of all, it's important to have the right practices, that each day you are following some disciplines, that you are doing the things that need to be done in order to succeed. It's just like how, in my mind, this is my first video, and this is the start of a new discipline that I want to be able to make more videos and to chronicle my journey and to share good content for you, share the things that I've learned and pass those things on. So this is part of the right practice that needs to be done. And so you need to do those things. So then the last thing are the mile markers. And in a business, just like in life and just like in an actual journey, you need to be able to track your progress. Do you have a method that you can scale what you're doing? Are you earning the right amount of money per month? Do you have an idea what you need? Do you have the idea that you are reaching a certain number of people, and how can you reach more people by doing those things? And so are you making progress in the building of your business? So all of these things are a lot like life, a lot like the journey. It's a metaphor that I very much identify with. Perhaps you do too. So it's been my pleasure to share it with you. Life is like a journey, and on a journey, you need to have a sense of your direction. You need to know where you're going, and it's important to have a good map to help you get to where you want to go. It's great to have good traveling companions. In life, you need to have accountability people and people who depend on you, and you depend on them, and all of these things. So traveling companions are great to have. And in business, I did mention it's great to have coaches and mentors and people who help guide you along the way. And also, you need to be able to scale what you're doing. You need those mile markers to keep you on track. Well, this is, as I said, my first video in what I like to call David's Directions. I hope I've given you some directions that are helpful. And tune in next time when I make another David's Directions video, and I'm disciplining myself to do more. And I hope you will tune in and be a good traveling companion with me on the journey. Take care. I will see you next time on the road. Bye.